How's it going? I'm Ryan. Today I'm going to go over the three trades I took. I took trades on RTY and MNQ. So had two initial losses and then two wins. So technically four trades. One was just a re-entry of a trade. So I consider it three separate trades. Um, let's take a look at those and why I took them. So straight off the bat, RTY is the futures contract that follows IWM, which is like Russell's Mini or something like that. It moves pretty nice and it gives some opportunities. So I've thrown it in there as just something to watch. And that was the first thing that I traded. The reason being is that we had really strong relative strength compared to the other ES and MQ. We were breaking higher, while ES and NQ initially were kind of chopping in their pre-market range. So this showed a lot of relative strength, and I entered long here. I did make a mistake as I incorrectly understood what the points, the dollar value per tick was on this, and I just oversized. So I entered here, and I set a stop. Let me pull up the 2 minutes so we can see. Basically, we got a nice break, clean break, two candles breaking higher, setting new highs, breaking and closing above that pre-market high, and then we got a pullback to the EMA. I entered right at that EMA, and I set my stop just below the pre-market low. I got stopped out pretty much at the very bottom of this, which was really unfortunate. And then we ripped higher. My first take profit was up here near high a day, and then I was going to let one runner run. I took 4 per account, so 4 contracts. I was going to take off 3 here and let one run. And yeah, it ended up being a loss here. And the idea was right. The opportunity was definitely there. This is my first time trading this, so I wasn't familiar with how it moves, and I wasn't familiar with my sizing. I thought I was. I looked it up. I didn't just jump in blindly, but I just miscalculated and essentially had twice the size that I should for what I'm risking here. So let's talk about it. I entered as we came down and tested the EMA and pre-market high area. Like I said, I placed my stop like 1.5 below. Let's see. Yeah, about 1.5 below. Less, not even a single point, or sorry, a little less than 1.5. Anyways, or about, yeah, whatever. 1.5 below. That was a bigger loss than I expected. So that was like over a $300 loss. I think it was like 360 or something like that. And it's unfortunate because I literally got bottom ticked on my stop loss. So I could have waited for this candle to close and then entered here. I also, had a size smaller, probably taken a little bit wider stop loss, like 2 points or something, and that would have been fine. This trade idea worked. I just got stopped out a little prematurely. This was mostly just a test. This moved really, really nice, and I'm kind of jealous that I did get stopped out because I would have made a killing on this trade. So we were down a little bit off that. That was my first trade of the day. Next, I came down to NQ, and NQ was showing relative weakness. And so what I did was I watched as we broke below the previous day low, and then came up and retested the previous day low and this 13 EMA. I took a short here, stopped just a few points above, and I got stopped out on this move up. So small loss there, pretty manageable. But then what I watched was this 5-minute close. We tested this pre-market low area, this area that we'd expect to act as resistance now that we've broken below it. We closed really weak, and then we kind of lost all these EMAs, right? We came up and we rejected and closed lower in all these. So I entered on this candle here as we were kind of opening around that 13 EMA. Opened here, stopped above previous day low area, and targeted a move to the downside. So my first trim was like down here. Second trim was at, I was trying to get low a day, but I didn't because I just kind of chickened out. So I had 2 take profits here, and then I had 1 runner that I took if we broke below pre-market low. So all 3 of those hit, and we made back our loss. I did size up on this trade. I did take a few more contracts. Normally I'd take 6, I took 10. So I didn't quite double my size, but I did size up on this because I like this trade so much. and felt very confidently that we were on pull down. And the reason that I thought that we were going to reject here was not just price action and levels, but also considering what ES was doing. If I pull up ES, at the same time that we were breaking lower and rejecting off the previous day low on NQ, on NQ, we were rejecting off this area here on this 15-minute candle. We'd broken lower and we were rejecting off of it. At the same time on ES, we were rejecting off pre-market high, right? And we have resistance here. So we can see we tried it once, tried it twice, tried it 3 times, tried it 4 times, tried it 5 times, and we could not break higher. And ES was showing the same thing. Lots of volume on the rejection candles. You know, if I go to NQ, you'll see that as well. This rejection candle had nice high volume, higher than the candles bringing it up. This is a rejection candle on high volume as well. So it looks like some high volume on these rejections, bearish engulfing. A lot of stuff going on there. And then if we look at ES, we see ES rejecting off of resistance as well. That got that pre-market high, and then this resistance right here. And on the 15-minute, you can see we're wicking off of it and kind of failing to be strong here. So we have ES rejecting, and then we had NQ rejecting, and NQ had relative weakness, which is why I shorted NQ here. So that worked out nice. And then I took a final trade. At this point, I was up $7 on the day, and I took one last trade right here. And this is because it was an A+ textbook trade that I would take 10 out of 10 times. Still looking pretty nice. Let's take a look at that. So my final trade is looking at NQ when we had broken and closed below the pre-market low on both the 5-minute and the 15-minute. You see the 15-minute close below here. And then we came up and we retested that pre-market low, and we retested that EMA. It's right here. And that's exactly where I entered short. I entered short here, stopped just about 10 points above, so pretty tight stop. Take profit at low a day, and then leave a runner for a bigger move. And we were just riding that 13 EMA all the way down. You know, taking shorts off the EMA retest would be really solid. This whole move down on NQ, and it's still running. So the reason why I took that is, like I said, it had relative weakness. It had the close on the 15-minute as well as the 5-minute below the pre-market low. Then we got the retest of the pre-market low and that EMA here, which is a perfect entry. Allowed me to have a very tight stop, risking very little. And then just took profit at low a day. That's pretty standard. And then I left a runner till 420, just for the memes. No, really, I was just looking at price action back here, and I was like, where's the last little like point of consolidation? Because this is just a big move up. There's no support here until we kind of get in this little range right here, right around like 420. So I took profit there, and yeah, still making new lows, still riding that EMA. I guess I could have taken it quite a bit lower. It is what it is. We have a smaller win today because we had some losses that we made our way back from. So overall, we won bigger than we lost. That's solid. But it was a little sloppy. We could have had a really solid day. Had I just understood this better, that would have been a really solid move. There were solid moves all over the place. The long here was beautiful. That's probably the best play of the day. That and the rejection here. Both of those are equally A+ setups. One's just to the upside, one's to the downside, but it's the exact same thing. The break and retest the pre-market range and continuation of the trend. So yeah, could have taken either of those and been really satisfied with the day. It's a learning experience. We're continuing to make back. Monday, I had a $300 loss, so we've recovered about half of that, and we still have Thursday, Friday. Today's FOMC decision in the evening or afternoon, so that should bring some volatility into the market the next couple days. Yeah, small win today. It's all right. We could have had a nice big win, but like I said, we took some losses in the morning, so we recovered it, and we'll end positive, and we're stoked on that. But overall, just need to continue to clean things up, be a little less sloppy, be a little bit more precise, and then I think we are very much so on the right track. That's all I got, and thank you for watching. Peace out.